Hi, it's Niño, and these are 3 revolutionary lessons that I've learned after meditating for 8 years. Let me guess, you've tried meditation, but you can't quite seem to be able to stop the flow of your thoughts. Maybe you figured, it's not for me, I'm an overthinker. With all due respect, that's bullshit. Hi, my name's Niño. I've been meditating for about a decade, beginning when I was 16, but making it a constant practice by the time I was 18 years old. By the end of this video, I'm going to share 3 powerful lessons that I've learned over my meditation journey, and 2 of the most helpful pieces of advice for your own meditation journey. Number 1, the idea of who you think you are is just that, an idea. You may have heard variations of this idea, like you are not your thoughts or your emotions. These are just objects of the mind. Through a meditation practice, you can become readily aware that the contents of your mind are simply that, contents of the mind. They do not define the awareness in which these objects arise. And the fact that there is someone noticing the arisal of the objects of the mind indicates that there is an observer or a broader awareness. But it goes deeper than that. We are not only not defined by our thoughts and emotions, but we cannot be defined in any stable sense. We are very literally biodynamic systems in an ever-evolving state of change. Our cells are constantly dying and being replaced. In fact, every 7 years, every cell that once defined who you are no longer exists. These are indications that the idea that we hold of ourselves is never really stable. It never captures your totality. This recognition may be understood intellectually, but it's when you recognize it through a meditative practice, it becomes pronounced, it becomes revolutionary. Eventually, you let go of the need to define, compare, or stress about yourself. It's in that clear space where you find a deeper connection to the present moment, and the big kicker, ironically or paradoxically, in letting go of the idea that you hold of yourself, you actually become more confident, authentic, expressive, and present. All it takes is recognizing you're not who you think you are, and you never will be. The second revolutionary lesson in meditation is there is nowhere to go, and the past and future are mere illusions. Hear me out. This isn't some weird concept that tries to deny the fact that this present moment is in fact impacted by the past, and this present moment will in fact unravel into a future state. That's not a denial that we live in a time-bound space insofar as we're concerned. Rather, to integrate the idea that the past and the future is an illusion is the most logical way of living. If I'm not mistaken, you have literally never been anywhere but right here, right now. Time flows through us, but we can never actually experience anything outside of this present moment. Of course, our brains have evolved to be able to reflect on past memories so that we can learn from those experiences, and to also imagine projected futures so that we may be able to plan for them accordingly. There is some utility in that, there's no doubt. However, take it from a guy who once had overthinker in his Instagram bio 10 years ago. Over my decade-long meditation journey, I've really come to understand that the more time that I spend reflecting in the past, well, the less present I am. The more time I try to imagine future scenarios so I can try to control the outcome of my life, again, the less present I am. And like the paradoxical of a universe that we live in, the more time and energy that you spend engaged in the present moment, the more likely you are to be able to engage with the patterns of the past that might be showing up. Because where else would you deal with those patterns if not here and now? By being so presently engaged with this moment and not obsessing over the future, the more you end up influencing the outcome of the future. Since the future is nothing but an outcome of the present stacked infinitely on itself. The third most revolutionary lesson that I've learned over my 10 years of meditation is that the universe is paradoxical. Less is more, surrender is strength, and discipline is freedom. Through meditation, you can expand your awareness to see past old identities, narratives, limiting beliefs, and you can tap into more beauty, love, awe, wonder, and joy. However, it doesn't come because you've added something to your mind to get you those things. You haven't added anything to your mental environment. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's more like you've pruned the garden of the mind, and the sun and light that was there before can simply just be received more greatly than before. Kind of paradoxical, because the more you do it, the more connected you feel to ourself, or the sense of it, to your intuition, to your body, to your feelings. But yet you also spend less time thinking about that stuff. The awareness shifts from the mind space towards the heart. And in that awareness, the paradoxical nature of the universe becomes revealed. You might be thinking, great, I'm so happy for you, but how do I meditate successfully? Okay, sounds like you've been doing it for 10 years. What about me? How can I actually have these recognitions embedded in my life and awareness so that I can have that joy, wonder, and awe, or whatever? I hear you. Here's one powerful tip for meditation that you definitely need to hear. You do not have to stop your thoughts. Don't think of an elephant. Let me guess, you just thought of an elephant. See, that's how our minds work. They're conniving bastards. So if you approach meditation with the preconception or the goal that I am to stop my thoughts, your mind will give you more thoughts so that you can achieve your goal, because your goal is to stop thoughts. And how could you stop thoughts if there was nothing arising? If there were no thoughts arising, your goal would not be complete. So by entering meditation with the presumption that I need to stop my thoughts, you have literally primed your brain to go, okay, got it, more thoughts incoming. But here's the twist. Look, meditation is not really about silencing your mind. It's like sitting by the river. It's like sitting by the river and watching the water flow. You don't try to stop the river, you just try to watch it. If at first you started looking at it and it looks like a whitewater rapids and it looks a bit chaotic, no problem, but you observe it. Over time, it does become much more still, and then it just becomes a flowing river, no more white water. And eventually, it's just like there's no movement. Total stillness, bliss, ecstasy. Similarly, when we can observe our thoughts without attachment, without judgment, we slowly but surely begin to silence the mind, because we're not engaging with the objects of the mind in a way that creates that dynamic of giving us more objects of the mind, thoughts or emotions to engage with. I'm simply recognizing that meditation is not a place to stop our thoughts. It's simply a place to observe, detached, with compassion, without judgment. It will radically transform your practice. Let them come and let them go. You're not here to control anything. And this brings us to a crucial aspect of meditation, letting go of control. We live in a society that values control and predictability. But in meditation, the power that you're learning is the power of surrender. By relinquishing the need to control every thought, you open yourself up to a deeper level of peace and understanding. It's a journey from head to heart, from thinking to true feeling. One way you can begin to practice this, which is super accessible, is breath awareness. Focus on your breath. Notice the inhale. Notice the expansion of oxygen in your lungs, your diaphragms, even the expanse in your shoulders, and then watch it fall. Notice how it happens effortlessly. Your body knows what to do without conscious intervention. This realization can be liberating. It teaches us about the natural flow of life, where not everything needs to be controlled or understood by the mind. In fact, most things can simply be. Finally, let's talk about one of the things that it's really hard for people to understand, but I really hope it lands here with you. And that's the power of consistency. Meditation is not a one-off experience. It's a journey. The benefits compound over time. It's like watering a plant. You're not going to see growth immediately, but with consistent and mindful care, it blossoms. The same is true for meditation. It's not really about having a life-changing experience in one session, not that that can't happen. It's about the subtle transformations that occur over compounded time. And really, to build this consistency, start by setting a regular scheduled meditation time, something that you can actually commit to. Sometimes if we start with big goals like 30-minute meditations, it's really easy to fall off of that maybe once or twice and then lose all the motivation or energy. Start with something you can manage, maybe just 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's not so much the duration that matters, but again, the practice and the consistency. And remember, each meditation session is going to be unique and different. Some days it might feel really easy, and other days it might feel like a struggle. There you have it. Those are 3 revolutionary lessons that I've learned over my decade-long meditation journey, plus a couple of crucial tips to help enhance your meditation practice. Look, remember, meditation is a personal journey. It's about discovering your inner landscape and learning how to navigate it, learning how to sometimes just be, without having to control everything that arises in life, which in turn helps us foster a more meaningful and deeper connection with our self. Not the self-image, not the idea of who we are, but the part that simply is, without the need for self-referential consciousness. The real you, the divine you. And before you go, if you found this video at all helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on mindfulness, personal development, spiritual journeys, psychological practices, and pretty much how to tap into the best you.